We are about to meet some young women who know how to do gourmet chocolate. Walking into Cellar Door Chocolates is like walking into a world made of chocolate because everything seems to be covered in chocolate. Let's take a look.
Well, I have a passion for cooking and baking, and it was about the time I was in graduate school that I started making chocolates for fun. And I abandoned my thesis, and in having a conversation with my academic advisor, she suggested that I do something with my truffles because I would make them for my professors and my fellow research assistants. So it was just kind of a, I don't want to do this, so maybe I'll try that kind of thing.
Making our plastic bourbon balls. What I'm doing right now is I'm lining our molds, our bourbon ball molds, with chocolate, dark chocolate, 55%. So I'm sticking the mold under this machine and it's injecting chocolate directly into the molds. I'm letting it shake out the air and I'm going to dump it over and the machine's going to shake out any excess chocolate. It's going to line the side of the mold. And I wipe excess and it's hollow.
Okay, chocolate-wise, we tend to do a little more gourmet. And our pricing isn't much higher than everybody else's because we've reached scales of economies and we're terribly efficient here. So once you see the chocolate being made, you'll see everything runs like a well-oiled machine so we can keep our prices down. But the quality of our product is superior. We have a saying where we put our money where your mouth is. Our packaging is simple. It's going to end up in the garbage, so why should we pass on the cost of packaging to you as the consumer? We put all of our money into gourmet chocolate, into high quality ingredients. So that's one thing that separates us from our competition.
Every morning I come in and I deal with all of our daily production. So that means everything from looking over our wholesale invoices to what our storefront needs, what our kiosk needs, and kind of facilitating what happens from the day-to-day basis. So kind of throwing it all into one bucket and hoping chocolate comes out. I am enrobing our truffles, so this is what we do with all of our truffles with the exception of white chocolate dipped. We still dip those by hand. I am going to load them up on this side of the belt. They go through the enrober and then they get blown with some good blast of air to blow off the excess chocolate, and they come out on parchment and then they set up on trays. The topping that is on there tells us what flavor it is. So we have a variety of milk chocolates that if we chopped it in the wrong kind, we would get a nice surprise.
We are injecting bourbon ball cream into the bourbon ball molds that we made earlier. This is our injector. These pieces of equipment that allow us to be very consistent. So each bourbon ball is virtually exactly the same.
I am getting ready to finish up English toffee. Toffee by nature is made up primarily of butter, water, and sugar. It's pretty delicious and pretty straightforward. We are boiling it in the kettle right now. You take it up to about 300 degrees, which is above the hardball stage, but right now we have boiling sugar, butter, salt, and a little bit of vanilla. The salt's important because it makes sure that your sugar doesn't crystallize, and so you don't get a grainy, sandy product in the end. But we are doing a summer version of toffee. I know a lot of people think of it as more of a winter thing, but it is very all-year friendly. We're going to sprinkle some potato chips on the sheet, and then we're going to end up pouring the toffee over it ultimately, and maybe adding a little chocolate. It takes about 3 to 4 hours to fully cool down to room temperature, and then it hardens, and then we're just going to break it into pieces. It smells wonderful. It's a little bit nutty because you get kind of a brown butter smell to it, but it's delicious and sugary and very caramely.
Okay, so the company started with truffles. The #1 seller is the cayenne pepper. And we started out with about 8, now we have 16. The next item would be bourbon balls. We started out with 1. It was a classic bourbon ball, just creamy, dark chocolate, no nuts. We now have 16 different flavors, and we do 12 small batch bourbon balls. Jackknife was born out of necessity. This building, Butchertown Market, houses about 150 employees, and there's not a lot of options to eat around here. If you want something a little more like salads, there's not really anything out here. So I opened that in November. We do gourmet brunch and lunch, soup and salads, breakfast sandwiches. We have beer and wine. We do daily specials, grilled cheese, that sort of thing. And so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work.